Hello, people. I know I'm a little late, but technically it is still Friday in California. But tell you the truth, I got no excuses. I just totally forgot today was Friday. And so I figured before I go to bed, I went out and got my paper off the landing, and let's see what we got this week. Okay, first of all, on the cover, we got Adam Timchak, who is the star of the week, and we'll find out what's going on with him. Okay, you know, it almost looks like they might be covering some news this week. There's one called Going Off the Rails. 3 engines and 5 cars off the tracks, closed Route 53 and 322, blocked the entrance to McDonald's. Yeah, the other day, they called it a derailment, and technically it is a derailment, but there wasn't like a picture where cars were flipped over. For some reason, cars went off the tracks and it blocked intersections. I guess people that were trying to go where they had to go had to take a real long detour because the way the train was, it hit like every intersection. But yep, so that's a little bit of excitement. Let's see, it looks like there's an actual picture. If you can see, how that one wheel is totally outside of the rail there. Let me see if I can real quick see how long it took them to. Let's see, mishap occurred around 3:30 p.m. It was a 101 car train, so you can figure that pretty long. I'm not seeing what time they finally got the road open. Luckily, I believe it was an empty train heading towards where their tipple is. Probably would have been even worse if it was going the other way and was totally loaded with coal. Yep, that was a little exciting. Now we've got Osceola Hotel turns into movie set. Favorite local spot host film crew. Yeah, apparently there was if I saw correctly, it was a Penn State student project, and they're filming a short film, and they used Osceola for some locations. I know they were saying like Friday night they were going to be down at the pool, and they wanted as many people there as possible. They wanted to get shots of people in the swimming pool, and apparently they were at the hotel filming in there. Let's see. The NLC celebrates 50 years. That's New Life Center. It's a church, non-denominational, fundamental Christian church. Founded by a group of local families, July 3, 1974. Okay. Not too sure of the terminology. Non-denominational, fundamental Christian. That seems a little oxymoronic to me. Maybe I'm wrong. If it was non-denominational, I guess you could have non-denominational Christian, meaning they don't care if you're Presbyterian or Methodist or Catholic. Okay, whatever. That's up to them. 50 years old. Looks like they went on for. Okay, it's always hard to tell the way they continue stuff. They're talking there more about the film You want to go and find out more stuff about that, then the next page has more about the train. Oh, here. But there are a couple more pictures there of the train. I guess that top one must be the crane that they would have used to lift it back onto the tracks. Yeah. You got to wonder how something like that happens. I'm pretty sure those things have to be inspected regularly. Should have gotten a hold of Caleb for an expert opinion. He worked for that R.J. Corman for a while, who's the people who do that stuff. Here's obituaries. We have a Joan Lansbury, born in 47. Shirley Mateer, born in 1940. She was from Osceola. Caroline J. Yaus, born in 38. Phillipsburg. Okay. You know, folks, I'm looking. There's somebody gave the VFW $5,000 mural grant. Okay. You know, so far, I'm not seeing a police report. You know, earlier in the week, I thought I should see if I could go online and find if the Pennsylvania State Police put that stuff online. Remind me next week, I'll do that. Just in case it's not in the paper. Because, you know, I mean, for all we know, Morrisdale can be going totally wild out there. It could be anarchy because we know nothing about the police out there controlling things. There's a first look at PO football. I don't know. Does anybody know if they've had a winning season in the last 30 years or so? Their coach is Jeff Vroman. There's PO students and grads contracted as special ability stunt actors. I'm guessing this is more about the that film. Looks like they got some kids to ride around on four-wheelers. What's next? Nittany Minute Mart raises $176,000 for local volunteer fire companies. That's a pretty good amount. Interested to see what fire companies, and I'm not seeing it. I keep seeing a lot of stuff about State College. Yeah, you know, I mean, if it isn't actually the fire companies local to this newspaper, it's funny they're giving them so much space unless, you know, Nittany Minute Mart happens to be an advertiser. Let's see. You know, competitive cheer team wins decorations. Is that like, you know, attendance medals? They, in highly competitive large camp, the team won many awards, including the Team Award, Certificate of Excellence. Okay, cool. What's next? August is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. For those of you who are still out there being breastfed, I'm not sure why you're watching this. The Phillipsburg Boy Scout troop held a Court of Honor dinner. Yeah, okay. Guys, there was no police report. But we have the memory lane. That's generally kind of interesting. This is Joseph Rusnak. Is showing his drag line at the Huck Run Coal Mining Company. And then they have another picture of somebody with a loader filling a train car. So that's over there. You see there's, for those of you who are not from coal mining, coal company areas, whatever I'm trying to say, that's what strips the land. Of course, that's an old one there. They look a lot different now. And down there, you can sort of see behind the train car, there's a loader dumping coal into it. And down there, that's that stupid thing where they have the dog doing an advice column. Okay, so the star of the week is Adam Timchak. He's a West Branch High School graduate who now hails from Carlisle. Fired a 2 under 68 to take top honors at the 29th Annual Fish Open Pro-Am. Okay, I'm guessing this has nothing to do with fish. Must be golf, 2 under 68. Don't know a lot about golf, but that sounds like a pretty good score. Steve Wager and Eddie Myers came in, I guess, tied for second or third, depending on how you look at it, with scores of 70. Okay. And that's all we got, except I will mention a little personal news for those of you who I have not bothered about it yet, who might happen to watch this. Let me put this up there. This Sunday, hopefully you people already know about this. We started a channel on YouTube where we're dedicating it to people who tell their stories. And we had a lady a couple of Sundays ago that has had a very interesting life, and everybody who's watched the story has been pretty much amazed with it, and they all are asking when is part 2 coming, because she wasn't able to tell her whole story. And I can tell you part 2 is the 25th. I'm looking at a calendar here. Yeah, last Sunday of the month at 1 o'clock. You'll want to watch part 1 first. That, of course, is, if you're not already subscribed, that's where you find it. It's called FMAC Podcast at YouTube. But I also will tell you that this Sunday at 1 o'clock, the guest will be me. I'll be telling a few anecdotes. This is actually stuff that it's a couple of stories that I told when I first started doing YouTube, but that's been several months ago. And when I looked at them, I wasn't too happy with the video on a couple, and I was thinking of redoing them. And then I thought, well, I thought of a different way to do it anyway. That'll be on the podcast on this Sunday, 1 o'clock. One of the stories in particular is deeply personal. So, you want to know a little more about me? There's your chance. And of course, doing it on the podcast, there's the opportunity for people to ask questions afterwards. Anyway, so if you think that would interest you, there you go. FMAC Podcast at YouTube. And I'll tell you, you really should go. If you haven't seen it, watch the one we already did. It's quite the story. I'll say this right now. It's 10 times more interesting than anything I'll have to say this week. But thanks for tuning in. See you next week, hopefully on Friday.